You mentioned William Hayes. William Hayes, defensive lineman for the Miami Dolphins,
yeah.
who before this was most famous for believing that mermaids were real and dinosaurs weren't. When he was a member of the Rams,
Former Hard Knock star.
former Hard Knock star on that.
Right.
But he tried to avoid putting all his body weight on quarterback of the Raiders, Derek Carr, on Sunday, and he injured himself.
I had my rant. I was mad about it, and I am mad about it. But I do think one of the points of emphasis is to the league, what you're doing, as I've continued to say, is working. Guys are all the way back to a couple of years ago when you started taking the head out of the game with the DBs and the missling and dropping the head. Players are thinking about it. So I think that's one of the good things about this is it is working. I think that went too far for a little while and has come back a little bit. And I'm hoping it does the same here. I don't know if it will, though, Mike, because it is the quarterback. And I get you want the quarterback out there. It's a lot better to watch it with the stars at quarterback, and ratings are up. So I do understand that.
Yeah.
And it is working because you are seeing players put their hands out. You are seeing players, as Von Miller said, I'm basically just going for the ball now. And other guys are saying, maybe I should just go for the ball. I personally think, as much as I yell, and they don't care if I yell, but guys currently playing are mad about this, I just think they're going to say, let it all go. Just keep doing what you're doing. I think the refs are getting tired of throwing the flags.
Of course they are.
Yeah.
But I think, I'll continue to say this, the league will react when the bottom line gets changed, and it's not going to get changed here.
Well,
the ratings are up. People are watching. Your top quarterbacks are still on the field, so they're going to live with this.
To the point, there's a couple of things that sort of frame what you're saying there. There have been 33 roughing the passer penalties this season through week 3. You want to guess how many there were last year?
At this point?
Yeah.
10?
Half that. 16.
Yeah.
So it's twice as prevalent now. And to your other point about the ratings, the Sunday night game between the Patriots and the Lions, which was kind of a dog game, had the highest Sunday night rating since 2015. By the way, side note, that 2015 game was the Broncos against the Lions. So clearly the Lions are America's team.
They are. Yeah.
That's the transitive process right there, sort of played out. But that's the point exactly. These penalties are up and the numbers are up. And as long as those second numbers are up, they're not going to care about these numbers.
You know what's amazing, thinking about this the other way, talking about, well, the bottom line drives this and why this won't change. It's exactly why it did to begin with, because when you think about the number of quarterback injuries, what we just dealt with, Jimmy Garoppolo, a non-contact ACL, what we saw Teddy Bridgewater doing that in practice, non-contact. Deshaun Watson, was Deshaun Watson a non-contact ACL?
I believe it was
also?
in practice.
in practice.
So when
you look at the majority of the quarterbacks, excluding Carson Wentz, who dove and was in a compromised position that couldn't be avoided, that was a true football play. Most of
Aaron Rodgers last year.
Most of these, so this is what I'm saying, is Aaron Rodgers being landed on, Tom Brady's knee being rolled into. When it happens to the best guy at that position, we've always seen an immediate adjustment by the NFL. That's the one thing we can say for sure in this. When you want change, if it happens in a big way to the marquee quarterback of the league, that's when you're going to get a rule change and not a minute sooner.
Yeah, exactly. And you wonder if that's going to translate to other positions like we talked about, right? I just don't know if hopefully it doesn't happen. If an Aaron Donald or a Khalil Mack or one of those guys gets rolled up, are they going to try and change that rule? I don't think so.
I mean, again, we'll have Joe Thomas on today like we do every week, the former offensive lineman for the Browns, Hall of Famer, who has said they should review these. And I just start wondering more and more, had they reviewed a hit like Stephon Tuitt, where you saw his hands come out at the end? Because I'm with you. The ref can't see all of that all the time, especially if it's the hand away from the ref and he doesn't see it come out. So do you replay that and you see that and you say, okay, his hands came out? Because I'll say again, if the ref did see his hands come out and he still threw the flag, I am really truthfully at a loss on what you expect him to do.
Well, let's be honest. They doubled down on the Clay Matthews hit against Kirk Cousins when clearly
they said he lifted. No, that wasn't an arm. They said he lifted his legs.
Kirk lifted himself into Clay. That's
I agree
what
with
happened.
that. I agree.